to the Neon Buttons podcast with me, SJ, and my co-host,
Mezeril.
and my other co-host,
Fire.
Bruh.
Bruh.
Right, my left and right-handed men. You're both right-handed, but I'm going to pretend one of you left-handed.
I'm both, but you know. Oh yeah, you're left-handed. You're just not applicable. Sorry about that.
Right, so, my friends, did I tell you what today's topic is?
No, hit me.
You go ahead.
Indie games!
Dog.
You
My
know,
mind just filled with a list of shit I can talk about already. Just
Just fill with shit. Also, today's episode is quite special, or from today onwards, because we have two people with face cams now.
could be a
yeah,
one-off, though,
he
you
has a
never know.
face now. Mezeril has a face, guys. He's not a hooded ninja, man.
He actually has a face.
I was
You can
gonna
see
wear
him
my
right there.
jumper and put my hood up, but it's too fucking hot for that. Got my family on me.
To be
Oh,
fair, your eyes are that bright, it'd probably have shone through the same way they do in the...
Yeah, classic white boy, blue eyes. Yeah, cheers for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I've got mighty brown eyes.
I got green, but no one will ever see them.
Green. No
my
one will ever
preach.
see
I'm
Fire's
I'm the
eyes.
one odd man out. Right? I'm just
It's
the one
fine.
faceless
You
individual.
can just stick a big image of Breach from Valorant on you. It's fine.
yeah.
Sorted.
Of course.
Because everyone, remember, Fire looks like Breach from Valorant. Quote.
I really don't, but you know, let's go with it.
Yeah, you're hotter. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. If Breach was a 9, you'd be an 11.2, you know what I mean?
Oh, fuck, man. Damn, that shit do hit different. So, indie games.
Indie
Indie
games. Not indie music.
Anyone has
Not Arctic Monkeys,
No,
not Caged Elephant. We're talking indie games.
Indie games. Anyone has a starting point.
Yes.
Anyone wanna go
Party
first?
Animals. I've been waiting so long for that to release. It's fucking. It looks amazing. Comes out next year.
Yeah,
hyped for
we
it.
need to play it for like
It's
a
like a
Neon
cross
Buttons
between
stream.
Fall Guys and Gang Beasts.
It's like, yeah, it's pretty much Gang Beasts.
Oh,
yeah.
that sounds amazing, yeah.
Release to be announced 2022.
But it's like a party game.
That's a thing. That's a thing for a Twitch channel, you know, whenever that comes out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. When we do that, we need to spam out some party animals and beat the crap out of each other. I watched some YouTube videos
True.
where they were playing that game, and it's just so funny. It's just
Yeah,
really
I saw people
funny.
playing the beta. Yeah, it's hilarious. Toxic though, but I like that.
Toxic double.
They're so cute as well. The little dinosaur.
Little
He's
dinosaur.
Fucking, he's spassy, but
They all look really derpy, but I think that's probably the best part about it, to be honest. Yeah, party
They
animals.
always
just
look
watched a little
derpy.
video of it. Somebody just got a spun kick to the face. Oh yeah, we need to play that for sure.
The weapons in it look really fun as well. There was one I was watching, and this guy had this
Yeah, there's like a taser.
yeah, there's like a freeze gun that was pretty funny because he just like freeze people and they just slide into like whatever the natural disaster was happening around them. It's quite good. Oh yeah, there was that. The future indie games always looks bright because nowadays with like gaming with being such a big market, there's like you've got your big boys, you've got your Activisions and your EAs and your Bungies and your Riot Games and your Epic Games and your insert here games, and then you've just got like some dosser who's like, mate, I want to make a dog, make a game.
I don't want to make a dog.
I want to make a game about
That's
a
a bit
dog
illegal.
which has a head on both sides, and it's a co-op game, and you have to do puzzles. That's an actual thing. I played it at a convention.
That sounds terrifying.
It sounds
What
amazing
the
though.
fuck? Two-headed.
I can't
dog
remember what it's
game.
called. I need to ask what it's like. There's a dog.
Oh, he's like Jake the dog. He's like all like stretchy.
Yeah,
like a
it's like
slinky.
like a snaky thing.
It looks cursed. Well, that looks cursed. Oh my god.
But now any old dosser can be like, mate, I want to make a game about a ladder that comes to life and chases you down a hallway and it jumps on you and eats you. You can do anything. The world is your
Yeah.
oyster, and indie games is the reason why. Yes.
Yeah.
I think these are
there's some cursed
quite
games,
amazing.
Apparently.
There are some cursed ones, but there are also some like really
The-
really amazing ones. Like Hollow Knight.
Hollow
Hollow Knight is
Knight,
like
yeah.
my absolute favorite indie game. So it's
There's-
so good.
There's
It's
one.
amazing.
There's one that I didn't realize was an indie game until just before the podcast. Terraria is an indie
Terraria?
game that was
It's
made
like the
by.
Jewish
Yeah.
Minecraft, isn't it?
It's like the 2D Minecraft, yeah.
Yeah,
The-
it's a
Gravity
bit more than
Falls.
that.
They need
It's
to make
quite
Gravity
different.
Falls into a game.
It's very different, but like that's a good pitch for what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a starting idea.
My first memory when it comes to indie games was Limbo. If you can remember Limbo.
I never played it, but like it was a very popular game.
Yeah, it was that
Very, very
2D
popular.
kind of black and white. There was that spider that kept popping along. You rip its
Yeah.
leg off. It's really sad.
It was amazing.
And
The
then
thing is though, indie games can be like a hit or miss though. They're either just shit or they get really
Oh, yeah, it's
popular.
I mean, that's
always like
bound to be
that.
the thing when you have like when there's so many of them. Because indie games, keep in mind,
Mm.
the definition of indie
Very
game is
easy to
just
make and everything, yeah.
small teams working on a game. So like, if a non-established person just makes a game, that's an indie game, no matter what. Even if they spent 10 years on it and it's actually like about as good as a AAA game, that's still an indie game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
as long as you don't have like an entire company behind it.
yeah, pretty
So
There
much.
was one that I played. I played the beta, Grounded. I think it was called.
Grounded.
Where you're like tiny people and you're like lost in a garden. It was alright. It was
Oh yeah, I've heard of that one. Yeah.
yeah. I played the
I
beta
saw
on
like
Xbox.
Markiplier and the boys play it. It's pretty fun, to be honest.
Yeah. Indie games seem to get a lot of coverage on YouTube just because like they're new games that people seem to enjoy.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
'cause they're always coming
they're
out.
constantly coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the one for me, the thing I always liked about indie games is when people make a AAA game, they get any amount of budget to make a story. You know, like think about God of War or Tomb Raider, those games which are like story games, but they've got all this grand spectacle going on, and they can just make this realistic, gritty, awesome, bombastic. Like if God of War and Tomb Raider and all that was music, it'd be like an orchestra. You know what I mean? Like a very deliberate, massive group of people making a massive symphony of noise. But
Tomb Raider indie game.
no. But my point
I was
is
gonna say.
no. But my point is those games they go down a very direct route to tell a massive,
Yeah.
bombastic, epic story.
Whereas indie games are just like
They are
small.
limited, which is the best part about it. Like if you think about films again, there's Saw, Saw, the first Saw.
Mhm.
They made that film on quite a small budget, and they only shot in one room for
Oh,
most
yeah,
of it.
yeah.
And basically, their entire thing was, what can we do just using this room? So it was, limitation creates powerful imagery sometimes. So, for example, what I was going through here, believe me, this train has a destination. Don't worry. There was an indie game I played not long ago called Oxenfree.
Oh, I know that one. It's actually amazing.
It's really good, isn't it? It's a story game, and it's like a 3D but 2D kind of thing. Like you're on a 2D plane, but the characters are 3D models, kind of thing. And it's about this group of kids going to this island. There's like, each of the kids has a very well voice acted. This is the thing I loved about it, particularly when I first started playing it. It was just the audio is so good.
It really
But
is.
they go to this beach. There's like some relationships and all that forming, some like hatreds, and like they're giving you background for all these characters, and then you find like this radio, and it like starts this whole chain of events, and it's such a good game, and it tells its story in a very unique way because of the limitation it has of being an indie game. I find games like that are what make indie games so good, in my opinion.
I just
Yeah,
realized as
so-
well. The second version of Little Nightmares came out back in February. I
Yeah,
didn't know
but that's
Yeah,
that's
I wanna play
AAA
that.
game. But I was actually going to talk about that. That was the first game I ever streamed was
AAA?
Little Nightmares. Pardon?
Oh, it's
Is it really AAA?
Yeah, it's AAA. It's got a major studio behind it. But my point is that game seems indie because it's taken the style of indie games with the 2D sort of platformery kind of vibe,
But done by a.
but it's
big
done by a
company.
AAA company, and it's really good. Like the music in the second game
Yeah,
is
I love
glorious,
Little
bro.
Nightmares.
It's so good. Like I
I
played both.
think
of
I
them.
think that's an amazing thing about gaming. Like indie games themselves are really cool, but if you have an indie style game made by a AAA company, that's even better, because you actually have more resources with it.
They definitely do, and I think Little Nightmares really perfected it. The thing is with games like that is when you buy a AAA game, you expect an experience you can always come back to, And I love Little Nightmares, and there's collectibles and stuff in it, but it's a very small experience. Like, I streamed those games all the way to completion, and I could have definitely gone back through and collected all the hats, and it would have at most doubled the time I spent on it. So if I was to do that, that's about 5 hours of gameplay for the first game, like an hour or two of gameplay for the DLC for the first game, so that's like 7 hours. And then the second game was like 6 hours, so then that bumps up to like 13. So that's like 13 hours, and that spans between 2 full AAA games that I bought using. I mean, it's kind of like half the price for a AAA game. I only spent like £30 on Little Nightmares 2 when it came out, but you know what I mean. It's still like quite a small experience, but it's so refined and good that you get that indie feeling, and like I'd throw money in at that. Like it's just so nice. It was so good, and the story is beautiful, and you're sat there thinking, why? Because no one fucking talks in the goddamn game.
It's still quite
Apparently,
amazing.
Rocket League started off as an indie game.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody had heard of Physique or whatever the fuck the company's called that makes it.
But the good thing about that as well is what's great about indie games is when they create like a really good idea that's unique, and it gets the ball rolling. Then people then the big vultures start coming and be like, "I'll take a piece of that pie." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now Rocket League's like
recently,
massively saturated.
On YouTube, loads of like YouTubers have started doing like simulator games.
Yeah.
Like Power Wash Simulator, Mowing Simulator, stuff like that, and they just fun, really. Fun, satisfying. Just sat there, just mowing a lawn, perfectly straight lines.
They do those types of games. It just lets them talk to the audience a lot. You know, it's very relaxing kind of games.
Very relaxing.
You just mow the lawn or like wash a car. You just chat. It's a really good game for streamers. If you want to do a just chatting stream, then just do a lawn mower simulator, power washing simulator. Just you have something in the background for people who are actually watching.
There's some people take some of those games really seriously. Like, have you ever seen how seriously some streamers take Farming Simulator?
I have not.
It's so funny. There's this guy, I can't remember what his name was, but someone like posted a thing on Reddit about him, and it kind of like became a thing. He streamed himself making on Farming Simulator. He had like such a vast thing going on. Like he'd spent actual thousands of hours on Farming Simulator doing all this shit, and it's like you spent thousands of hours of your life on Farming Simulator.
Yeah, because there's a YouTuber that I watch called Smitty. I was watching a live stream of his where he was playing Power Wash Simulator. He was like cleaning like a skate park. He was like doing like perfect like jet wash lines. Then he like messed up one line and like went up to the side. The chat went crazy. They got so triggered by it. Oh, it was funny, honestly.
Smitty. God, I ain't heard that name in a while.
Fuck, same. I used to watch him like a year ago.
Got me
stopped.
Into Golf It.
I think you told me about that actually. Which, by the way, for context, everyone, Golf It is a golf game that we play together every now and then.
It's toxic.
Yeah. Especially when you got that one map.
Unlucky.
That one map that you got where you get in the hole and it moves the hole further back.
Troll maps.
I hate that. That's horrible.
I played Golf It with the boys. I played Golf It with the boys like twice or 3 times, and I just got unlucky so bad.
Bro, the game hates you. The game has
it does.
I've just found something really cool.
Mm-hmm.
There's this site called indiegamebundles.com.
Ooh. Yeah. That is interesting.
And it like shows you like game bundles for things. The Fanatical Grand Finale bundle.
Wait, isn't this just
like 7 games?
Isn't this just like Humble Bundle, but
kinda, yeah.
Indie games, yeah.
That's cool.
It's not even all indie games.
No, there was an Amazon Prime thing there at the top, but that'll have just been like
it's basically just like a scuffed Humble Bundle then.
Probably.
Kind of.
Prime games normally shit though. I'm gonna lie.
Because Humble Bundle offers like a lot of indie games.
You know what? I'm gonna make Mez. You ready for this? You're gonna hate me for this. I'm gonna make this the 3rd time in a row on every podcast now. I'll have mentioned this. The Decoy Games guys who made that Swim Sanity game.
Yeah.
Somehow I've managed to mention that in every single podcast. Now it's the indie game podcast, so I kind of have to bring it up now. If I don't talk about it in the only podcast where it makes sense to talk about it, then I'm kind of
Does
like,
it make sense though? Or is it
yeah,
just
because
you
it's an indie
rambling on
game.
about
It's an
pointless
indie
stuff?
game. Basically, well, the
Is
reason
it
I
that
brought
every
it
podcast?
the reason I brought it up before was because I want to work. I mentioned that I want to move Neon Buttons at some point to do on top of the weekly podcast, doing several other things. And one of the things is going to conventions and like interviewing developers and things. And
Yeah.
the thing that gave me that idea was when I went to a convention with my games design course when I was doing A level, and I met a lot of the different developers. But for some reason, I specifically remember meeting Decoy Games, who were the two guys who made this kind of like Super Smash Bros. Brawl style game that's entirely underwater, and you like these scuba diver people with different powers. Called Swim Sanity, and I played in like a little tournament thing while I was there. Didn't do that well. I mean, I did okay, but I didn't do great.
Sounds like a fun game though, to be
It
honest.
is a fun game, and I'm starting thinking like this is what gaming was and what it should always have in a bubble. It should always
Yeah.
have this games are made to be fun mentality somewhere. Like in between all the competitivity and the grand spectacle things and all that.
Just indie games.
Just
there
indie
so you
games
can
that are there
chill,
just to
have
be
your friends, have a laugh. Yeah,
there
because
to
some
be
of the best
enjoyed.
games that I've played, like indie games, is like Fall Guys, Among Us. Not that good, but it's still fun.
I really
Like,
liked Among Us. I think that's a great idea for a game.
I think that's less about actual indie games and more about just party games.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
most of them are indie games. Like
Well, Among
some
Us
that I've
is an
played that
indie
are
game.
like tiny.
Mm.
Is like
Fall Guys wasn't.
Fall
there's
Guys
one
wasn't,
called
no.
Ultimate Chicken Horse. It was like a
Oh, yeah. That like
Yeah.
it's like a race game where
it's
you
like an
like
obstacle
pick like
course
things to
game,
like
yeah.
fuck people up,
Yeah,
but you still got to try and make it to the end. Yeah,
that was
just fun
good.
games like that. Just indie games. That is like part of like indie games, like fun chill
Yeah.
games.
Mm.
To be honest,
Only,
like
being
my-
so developed.
my favorite thing about indie games, like my favorite genre coming from that whole thing is roguelikes, like Binding of Isaac, right? The biggest fucking roguelike out there.
Mm.
I absolutely adore that game. Like I Slay the Spire, Gunfire Reborn. Like there's so many roguelikes, and you just the way those basically games work, right? Is every time you go through levels and you try to kill enemies or whatever, and you collect items and make your character stronger, and then every time you die, you reset from the beginning and you start
Yeah.
over, right? But in each run, you can unlock new items, new characters in some games.
Yeah,
And it's just
similar.
like it's such a good time,
Groundhog
like,
Day
for me
level thing.
specifically.
That's what I think of.
Yeah, like for me, it's like it's the funnest fucking shit I've ever played. It's fun as shit. It's so fun. Like Risk of Rain 2, that's an amazing one.
Was kind of like that, and that game was so fun.
Cuphead.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, Cuphead. It was a small thing at first. They posted a thing. I think it was like an E3 or some sort of gaming event. They did a thing for Cuphead, and it was originally just a boss rush game, so that it has like just the boss fights going on, like back to back to back boss fights. They had one event showcasing it, and everyone just went mad. Like
Went
I was
crazy,
like, oh, it's so good, the art style, the rubber hose 1930s animation style,
and they eventually just decided to turn it into a whole overworld experience.
Yeah,
It's
they just
amazing.
changed
It
it
worked,
into a
though.
big full
Worked
game,
beautifully.
literally. But I think Cuphead's a really good
Also
game.
a fun fact. Basically, I think it's all hand animated, like
Yeah,
all
it is.
hand
Yeah,
drawn.
it is.
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
Like Flipnote kind of thing. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the way they did it was they had the hand drawn animations. They did this. They did it the same way they would for that time, where they drew over it. They made the several layers of it.
It's like proper Disney.
They proper Disney styled it, and then they just programmed it.
That's
in
why
like that.
people loved it, because it's this nostalgia feeling of proper all-time Disney.
Well, what I find
People
really
dig
great
that
about
shit.
it was the way they did it worked perfectly for how it should be played, because every single thing that could be interacted with, every single character that was an enemy, or an ally or yourself, or any object that could hurt you, or anything that was an interactable thing in the game, which was tangible, moved. Everything moved. Characters, if you stopped moving, they'd bob. If the bullets, they do this weird animation loop.
Yeah,
The bosses had like movement to them. It was just this perfect.
Everything
That's
feels
such a
so
good game.
alive.
Yeah, alive. That's the word I'm thinking of. Everything was alive, but at the same time, all the backgrounds, all the things that weren't meant to be played with, as it were, are dead, which I think is perfect. Because you go on the
Yeah.
overworld, you see still, and then you see one house that for some reason is doing a little jig, and you're like, okay, I need to go to that house. Apparently, it's perfect
Yeah.
game design. It's fucking perfect.
It
game
is an
design.
amazing like visual guide, basically.
Yeah, very visual.
And then there's some stupid, wacky ones as
Without it
well.
having to be like too in your face or to like go here, go here.
Yeah.
Yeah, lets you free explore as well, but
I mean the thing, right? This is what you learn in games design. I think indie games have sort of mastered playing around with this. Games realistically have three major elements to them. That is the visual element, what you're seeing on the screen, the audible element, what you're hearing, and the interactive element, what you're doing in that scape.
the assets.
So indie games play around with these a lot, and what Cuphead originally, and they really clearly used these three things. They used that visual element. They were like, so what do people see? And then what's unique about it? Then, 1930s rubber hose animation style, we're going to do it exactly how they did back in the day, and we're going to wing it, and it's going to be fucking great. Brilliant. That's unique. That's amazing. Audio. They smashed that audio. It's so grainy and it's nostalgic, even though no one realistically was alive now. Who was live in the 1930s watching these things when they first came out, particularly considering only rich people could see them, and all of those people who would be, might have actually done it, probably fucking aren't interested in video games now in their 90s.
Yeah.
So, it's somehow it makes it feel nostalgic, but it's all got that audio element, and it's all like unique music that they made just for that game. Boom. They've smashed it on both of those steps. Interactive element. It's built from the ground up with one simple idea of boss rush. In my opinion, the rush mechanic. You know how they had the those sort of like levels where they had no bosses. You just had to get to the end.
Just like run through it.
Yeah. Those weren't as good in my opinion, but that's an opinion, and a lot of people might agree on that.
Though.
Most people agree with that, though.
Yeah,
most people agree with that.
They kind of put it in just so that it would fit the
more diversity for gameplay.
Yeah, because I think they were just scared.
Just like back to back fighting.
Yeah, I think they were just scared because there was more interest in the game, so they felt they had to put more in. But the boss rush stuff by itself was a perfect thing to just focus on, which is what indie game makers do. They're like, what aspect of the game making and gameplay do we focus on, because we don't have time to focus on everything else because there's not as many of us as there is on a AAA project. Which
I want to play Cuphead again now.
Yeah, we need to play it. We do. This is another thing. This is great. We're just coming up with ideas.
Don't tell everyone. Keep on the low.
We're gonna play all this shit.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing, though. Anything, if you have like that, like indie, like kind of like vibe to it, like the animation, as of like anything, like no matter how stupid the idea is, can be a game. Like one that I played, Untitled Goose Game. You're a goose and you cause havoc in the fucking village, stealing people's stuff. Breaking. It's just what the fuck. Who thinks
It's like
that?
Goat Simulator.
It's so fun. Oh, that game was fucked. It was so glitchy as well. You just run around as a goat, just fucking up people
with a tongue.
So fun.
It was just
the
weirdly
tongue
long.
just shoots out miles.
I love that so much.
Or like another one that I played. What was it? I can't remember the full name, but you were a delivery guy, and you had to like deliver packages, but just like the like play style of it, and like the animation, like your character was like so goofy, you'd like fall over.
Oh,
when you
kind of
run
like
too
Quap.
fast, and you'd like roll like an egg, or you'd like fly a fucking like helicopter, where you have to use like two fucking like nozzles to like go forwards and sideways. It was just fun.
It's kind of like
wacky
Quap.
and fun.
Do you remember Quap?
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
Like track and field game where you controlled
Yeah, kind of
every
like that.
limb of the character with the Quap keys.
Totally unreliable delivery service was what it was called.
I think I've heard of that, but I haven't played it.
Yeah, it was so wacky, but it was hilarious.
Wacky.
Oh, there was a game studio. I actually met these people as well. The people who made Castle Crashers and Battle Block Theater and those kinds of styles of games.
Castle Crashers. Oh, that's a throwback. Holy shit!
I like that they
I
were.
used to play that all the time on Xbox 360. Jesus.
Yeah, Those were like
Old.
indie style games that started off, and they were kind of just indie games, but they were just really popular. Battle Block Theatre was probably my favorite because of the guy they had voicing the host on that thing. It was this one like guy. I can't remember his name. I'm gonna look it up now so that I don't like fluff it. But they had this guy who basically, because Battle Block Theatre, you are kind of like part of a TV show, and you're like put through all these courses as like a like a contestant maybe, but they're obviously dangerous. But they had this like comedic guy. Hold on, Battle Block Theatre voice actor Stamper.
Oh, I remember that game.
Yeah, Stamper
Yeah,
is
try and
known.
like steal the diamond.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
wait, steal the diamond.
The big green diamond, emerald, whatever the fuck you want to
Yeah,
call it.
you collected them as you went through. Yeah.
Yeah, collecting.
Stamper is known for his career in Newgrounds. That's interesting. Like those old like Flash games and
Seen
stuff.
that.
And YouTube as an animator and voice actor for games such as the narrator in Battle Block Theatre. His parents were police officers.
Mm.
When he was younger, his first career path was to be a priest.
Ooh.
And then it just went downhill.
Just then went downhill to voice.
Oh yeah, that reminds
Got
me.
more money
Actually.
though.
They're making a new game called Pit People, and I play tested it when I was at that
I've heard of that, yeah.
convention. It's an interesting game. It's definitely very different to the other things, but that company they'd never make the same game. Castle Crasher, party game for four player co-op that had an amazing sort of overarching sort of RPG element to it with boss fights.
It also had a story. It was
yeah.
really funny.
There was like quite funny, which is the only thing that really ties those games, all of these games together, is the art style and how funny they are. Battle Block Theatre, Stamper, perfect voice actor to play that announcer character.
Oh, fucking Stamper! Oh, what a legend! What a legend, man!
And dude, that Pit People when I played it as well, it was very funny. Like it's just they're never gonna lose their edge. I don't think this game. That's the kind of thing indie games brings out in people is the uniqueness and the style. I think that's what games sometimes miss nowadays. Like you think everyone's kind of aiming for the same thing at the top. They're aiming for the most realistic, the most satisfying, the most this. They're aiming for the most of something. They're not aiming for something different.
Highest quality, most interactive, shit like that.
Whereas indie games are looking, they're trying to veer off. They're like, what different things can we do? Which that's very much needed for progression in something. You can never just keep going in the same direction. You'll eventually hit a fucking dead end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like one new game that I played recently. It's not like an indie game because a big company made it. It's made by Amazon, but they haven't made many games. It's called New World. It came out on Tuesday. Me and my mate stayed up till 7 a.m. for it to release. It was so fun. It's like an MMO game. Yeah, but that one, like, it's not made like a huge company. Obviously, they have like loads of money, obviously, but they haven't made like many like big games. So it was interesting to play. It's similar to Black Desert Online.
Yeah.
I don't really fancy those kind of games, but this one was just a piss about to play.
No.
Bam!
Oh my.
What has Romeo sent to the chat? Let's not talk about Romeo while we're on stream. Boys.
Yeah, some
Dude,
people might get a bit,
Let's not talk about him.
I want to see you do that growl in person now, Mez, because I've never seen you do that growl.
One day.
One day.
Have you not played Sea of Thieves?
I've not played it, but I know of it.
It's so fun. Just like free roaming, messing about, searching for treasure, fighting a big fucking squid.
Leviathan.
Whatever the fuck you want to call
Big
it.
squid.
Yeah, Leviathan. Or like the Kraken as well. That's in it as well. It's just a fun, that's about game to play. That's what I mean. They're all just like that's just like yes, being made by small companies, but also like just having that like aspect of like get your mates, have a laugh, mess about. No, like oh yeah, follow this story path. Just do what you want. Make your own fun out of it.
That's what's interesting.
So good for YouTubers as well because they just talk over it rather than focusing.
I can't remember the name of those games where they have no narrative, but you kind of make your own as you play it, like Minecraft and Sea of Thieves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Where it's like you
sandbox games. Sandbox
yeah,
games.
they are sandbox
Kind
games,
of,
but there's a
kind
type, there's a name of the type of narrative where there is nothing set up for you. It just kind of develops as you play. Like, you know, you go out on an adventure and your pet dog dies in Minecraft. That's sad. You know what I mean? Like, there's oh, I want revenge on this creeper. I mean, if it killed the dog, it probably isn't around anymore to for you to avenge it. But you know what I mean? Things like that.
Little Big Planet.
Little Big
Did you
Planet.
play that?
I
Did you
didn't.
play that? That was you should have. That's a throwback though.
Is that even an indie game?
It's
Is
not
that
an indie
even
game because it was produced
No,
made by
but
Sony, I
it's-
think.
It's same like style though, like no like direct like
Yeah.
narrative, just that you want.
Yeah. Not
We
an
should
indie game,
stop
so that
playing
doesn't quite.
games like CS:GO and that. We should just play like fuck around games like this.
Yeah, like, we do need to get like more party games.
Oh, the game that
into
I was
our
playing the
franchise.
other day, it's called Knockout City. That
Mm.
dodgeball game that I was playing.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
the
Sorry,
game.
I
That's
really
fucking
want to
fun.
ask you.
Yeah,
I really want to ask you about it.
you're in like teams of, like 2, 3, or 4. There's comp, but there's also casual. Just fuck around throwing dodgeballs.
Sounds like a
But
good
there's
time.
I think I've seen
like
someone play that
power
before.
elements to
Is
it,
it like third person?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can like catch the ball. You can like do like spin throws. You can like roll on the floor. Your teammate picks you up. You can either throw you or you can charge you, and you turn into a bomb. Throws you up. Kaboom. Schemes like
Kaboom.
that.
Skadoosh.
Kaboom.
Yeah,
Skadoosh.
Kaboom.
Or like Rocket League as well. Before Rocket League became shit when Epic Games took over, that was such a good game.
I never
Also,
actually played it. It's
eat,
never bothered.
Like money on because I used to buy a lot of crates before they took them out. That's when I stopped playing roughly.
They stopped playing because they took away the random element.
No, because that's the thing. Because I actually made like, a
random
decent amount of money
surprise
because
mechanics.
you could like trade like crate keys or like trade like decals and camos for like wheels and stuff, and then like not scam people, but like know what's worth what, and then like make money out of it. Then like so some things would be like more valuable than others, like the like titanium white colored octane, which is quite hard to get, was worth like 100 quid. And then once they took out the trading system, the crate system, the key system, is worth nothing now. So people who've like bought it in the past, worth nothing now.
That's kind of like
Yeah,
what happened.
It's literally given away for free though.
Yeah, that's why I don't like when like big companies take over small games like that because they just ruin it. Because they added like an
True.
item shop, you know, like what Epic Games did. They just love like because obviously like Fortnite, it was so successful the item shop, so they added an item shop to try and get more money. Probably worked, but still, just like why change the game that much? Because it
Yeah.
annoyed a lot of the community. when
I
they did
bet.
that.
It's like that's like what happens. Like most people some people could have been treating those items like cryptocurrency. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
digital currency.
Yeah, they did.
And then that's the same thing as Bitcoin just going, by the way, our shit doesn't worth anything anymore. So.
Yeah.
Just like the
Like how
entire
China
stock
banned
drops to $0.
China banned all cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I remember that.
Oh,
I was working in finance when that happened. So I was very aware of that.
Like also like when Elon Musk tweeted about Bitcoin to like raise the prices and then bought a shitload of Bitcoin before that and then now accepts Bitcoin payments for Teslas.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, he didn't accept them. He didn't
Well,
accept
just
them for a
fuck system.
time because
Because
they were like very
until they were worth a
eco.
lot.
No, because they were very against eco. Because like
Yeah.
a fuck ton of people would
No, I don't.
use
I don't.
a lot of power to produce them.
I don't think that was the. I think that was like the posturing reason. The reason at the time, I personally think, was because Bitcoin was fluctuating in price quite a lot at that time, so it's not a stable currency.
Yeah.
It was very
Well, it
unstable.
still isn't.
But it was particularly unstable at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like say if somebody like invested like a shit ton into Bitcoin like when it first started, they can now buy a Tesla for like
That-
a couple quid.
yeah, exactly.
This entire episode just
If
turned
you
into a
spent
fucking
if you spent like £1,
Bitcoin.
if you spent like £1 on Bitcoin like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, you'd have like 1 million now.
Why are we
Exactly.
talking about finances, boys?
Like when like a bunch of people on Reddit like made the pact to like crash the like I forgot the word is, but they
GameStop.
yeah, GameStop, yeah. They invested like loads into GameStop and then fucking got like millions back. Like some
Yeah.
14-year-old, his mum invested like 20 quid. Sorry if I'm tiring you, SJ. And then they got like $4 grand from it.
Yeah, it's actually really insane. That whole GameStop situation is pretty insane.
I feel like SJ's holding in something about this convo that is triggering him a bit.
Nope.
No,
We just get back to gaming and stuff like about financing.
No, I find it funny that we've randomly taken a fucking left turn into finance.
it does,
Ah, yes, Bitcoin. Let's talk about that.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
I
yes.
am quite the connoisseur of financial situations. Might you pass me £100 and I will turn it into not £100.
I will double it.
Small
I will
loan of
double it within a
£100.
day. Oh god.
Just makes me remember the times when when I had CS:GO currency. That was fun.
What was
Then
that
I got
game
also-
where you were like a little like weird like stick guy with a big like bubble head and you had like a plant on your head? What was that game?
What? I have no idea what you mean. to be honest.
I'm
Pikmin.
gonna Google it. Pardon?
Pikmin.
Might be that. Yeah. No. Yeah. It was. Yeah. Pikmin. That was an indie
Pikmin.
game.
Well, I thought Pikmin was with Nintendo, ironically enough.
Well, yes, it is on Nintendo, but it wasn't made by it, was it?
I think it was made by Nintendo. Hold on. Pikmin.
Oh, I think they were the publishers, not the actual developers of it.
Hold on. Let's do some
I'm
do some
looking.
deep dive. Pikmin original developers Nintendo.
Nintendo. That's a throwback to last.
That was last podcast.
Damn, son,
Get back
that's a
in time.
throwback.
All the way to last week, mate.
Throwback to exactly 7 days ago. Oh my god.
Well, not for us, because we're not recording this on a Sunday.
No. Not for
Technical
us at all.
difficulties.
It is a
Well,
throwback.
actually, wait, no, it was a week ago. Because no, last episode we also recorded on Sunday. Shit,
Exactly.
it is a week ago. Fuck.
It was a throwback to a week ago for us, and wow, it will still be 7 days for you guys, because you guys are seeing this tomorrow, not today.
We've
Tomorrow.
been here like 20 minutes and our brain's already depleting.
My brain
Yeah.
is never depleted. I run on Duracell batteries.
Today,
I
I
mean,
I don't know. My
You are the
brain is
brains
like,
here.
The brains, the brawn, and the scrawn.
no, it's the
You're the
brain's
scroll as
sexual
well.
appeal. And
Yeah,
the
I am.
stuff
I am
that-
simultaneously brains and scrawn, so that's fun.
I'm pro boxer apparently.
Yeah, well,
Clever way.
not pro, never pro. Where'd that come from? I was just
Amateur
good.
boxer, but like insane.
Mez used to box as
Double
well, which is the
They
thing.
should make Big Les into a game.
Big Les.
Have you seen Big Les? The Big Les show?
No.
For real?
For real?
There's gonna be some
So-
comments hating on you.
Really?
It's like a piss take of like Australian characters. All episodes drawn by hand, so each episode takes like several months, but yeah. It's a
Sounds
really
amazing.
good TV show. It's like a lot of drugs,
Yeah.
a lot of killing.
Ah, yes, the favorite themes.
Have you guys
Favorite
ever heard of RPG Maker?
Oh yes, I have heard of that. There's so many RPG Maker games. You have no idea.
There's some RPG horror games, the RPG Maker horror games I remember very vividly. Do any of you remember Corpse Party?
No.
Oh my god. Corpse Party. That shit. I had that fucker. I could not play through it because I was shit scared of it. Like honestly,
It was such a strange
it's
game.
so disturbing too. Like there's some factors in that game like pedophilia and rape and necrophilia.
Sorry?
It's really fucked up.
It's a fucked up game made by a Japanese guy on RPG Maker.
It's
Probably
quite
a lot
popular
of
though.
fucked up games. Anime, fucked up games made by Japanese guys. Am I wrong? Yeah,
Just the entirety of anime is fucked up creation.
I'm not wrong. And there's a lot of fucked up people that play it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Like in Japan, they made like a VR suit which you wear, and you can live like an entire different life in it.
Oh, wait, no.
That just makes me think of Ready Player
It's
One.
like fully interactive, so yeah, you can shag in it.
No, I
Pocket pussy
remember.
and everything.
Oh my god! stop, man! Please stop. No, like there's a streamer called Miko who actually I think has one of those. She does like a complete virtual character and shit, and she streams in a virtual space. It's really cool, actually.
She has problems, but we're not going to talk about that.
Nothing sexual.
Burning
mate.
bridges
Sexual.
before I've had the chance to make them, Mez. Stop burning
Uh.
bridges.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, like there's a YouTuber that I watch. He spent $30,000 on a racing simulator.
Unwise decision.
Technically, yeah, because you can crash in it, no consequences. You ain't got to pay insurance for your car. You just
I
can't
mean,
go
But you
anywhere.
also literally don't go anywhere.
True.
You quite literally
True.
do not move.
In your
I
head,
mean,
you do,
that's
so-
the fun of it. That's the fun of it. You know, you don't
Yo,
have to move.
yo, honey, I'm just gonna go to the shops.
Hops on a racing simulator.
Oh, that is amazing.
I'm gonna go get a can of Red Bull.
Just waiting for it to ship, mate.
Oh, that'd be funny. Like, honey, we'll get a can of Red Bull. It'll take me 2 days.
Waiting for shipping.
Aren't you like, like Deliveroo and shit?
Yeah,
Can't you like order it from like corner shops now? Some corner shops do that.
some do.
Like,
In Sheffield, they
yeah.
do because when I were at uni
here they do as
recently, there's
well,
this
yeah.
Welsh guy on my course went, we need booze, don't we? I can
It's just
order it.
fucking, it's just about that order some booze.
He's just like,
Yeah, no,
he's
but
ordering
do
booze
it.
from a corner shop.
Yeah.
I can't do his
Big brain
accent.
for
It's
those
like
lazy
he had a
cunts.
proper down in the valley kind of way of speaking. He always spoke like this every time he said anything. His name was Nathan.
To be fair though, that's revolutionary because that keeps all the lazy fat people indoors, so we ain't got to see them.
It also makes them
Keeps
get
the streets
lazier
clean,
and
keeps
fatter.
the streets
It
clean.
doesn't fix anything. It just kills people.
Just kill. That's all you need, mate. That's all you need. Just to kill people.
The perfect situation for the government is if everyone else is deceased.
It's like COVID.
No, because they don't have anyone to rule over them. You know.
Yeah,
Trash.
no,
Kinda
they
trash.
just need
Still-
sheep. They need sheep.
They've got to tackle the people who go against the system and tackle overpopulation. COVID.
Overpopulation. Oh, COVID. Let's not do anything for
blame
about 2
China for
weeks
that.
so we can at
Having
least
kids
chop off
each.
some of the older people. Actually, you know what I found really funny is they were really, since we have a right-wing government installed at the moment and all of their votes come from older people, they actually seemed really concerned at first. But they were like, we don't want the market to crash. We need money, but that's all our voting
got
people
to
who are going to
have
die.
Money.
Brexit.
There we go.
People who were 60 plus voted to leave. To fuck up our
Yeah,
future.
that's true.
To make Toblerones tiny.
I'm sorry.
Not
Why,
happy.
why is this so political?
Not happy.
No, sorry. It's,
No,
that's
for real.
just statistics.
Chocolate bars now are
That's
like
not political.
minuscule. I'm so pissed.
Hmm?
Kit Kats, Mars bars, short. Toblerones, massive like gap between each triangle.
Oh, dude,
Not having it.
fucked up the entirety of
Ruined
the
my
chocolate
childhood.
industry.
And we got to
So-
clean up that mess. Thanks, boss.
Just
Remember,
Thanks,
everyone,
Cameron.
rewrite the
Thank you.
chocolate industry.
if you discuss indie games for more than 30 minutes, you too will be stuck on a conversation about Brexit and Toblerone.
It's just how it works, mate. It's just how it works.
It's just science. It's just
You
science.
go, you go to dark paths, okay, when you talk about indie games.
Well,
Dark paths.
most indie games are horror games. Most of them are dark paths. Slenderman, my guys, that was like the original blow-up indie game. Is
Oh,
Can we
true.
stay on politics for a bit longer? Prince Andrew finally stopped running and faced his
God.
sex abuse charges.
Oh,
I'm happy with that.
Nice.
so Slenderman, am I right?
yeah. Going back to gaming, boys. Come on.
Jeffrey Epstein was an inside job. Prince Diane
Oh
was an
my,
inside
oh
job.
my god, Mez, please.
9/11 was an inside job.
Correct. Meh. Oh, yeah, I'll go with correct.
Flat Earther, inside job.
Hmm.
Flat Earth for inside job. How does that work? You know, don't answer that.
Well,
Yeah.
no, they made the globe. They decided to change the flat map into a globe. That was the government. Inside job.
Oh my god. Gaming boys. Indie games.
But for real, though, like everything these days has like advanced. Cars have advanced. Like technology has advanced. Schools haven't changed a bit. We still learn in rows. We learn to leave when the bell tells us to. We learn to
It's a
follow
perfect-
orders
it's a
from the
perfect
first
system.
to the front. Absolutely
Perfect system.
fucking not. Anyone in the school, I'm sorry for you, honestly.
And yet our
Yeah, that's
ability
me.
to talk about indie games has drastically decreased.
It really has, isn't it? I think we're all just like quite unfocused today.
No, that's good. It's entertaining. I'm sure everyone's entertaining about Mez's political rants. I mean, I'm definitely entertained by them. But
Trump
God.
looks so weird younger. Just
Who?
seen him in the same photo with Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump.
Oh,
Balloons, boys. Balloons.
It's all interlinked. Balloons Tower Defense. Yes. The sandbox on that was I beat the game.
I remember
I lost
playing.
my iPad, and that was it. Done. Fucked.
I remember playing the fourth one so much when I was a kid.
I played
Holy
5 and
shit.
6.
I've played 5 and 6 too, but like
That
the
game was
fourth one, I
fun.
think I've spent the most on. So amazing, so much, so many good memories. I think one of my favorite indie games is Plants vs Zombies. That's like the
Never
first
played
game
it.
that I
I've seen
that I
it,
have
Plants
so
vs
many
Zombies.
memories
Oh
of.
yeah. Do
So,
do
so
do
good.
do 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 do.
He used to bring in back flashbacks now from like when you were a kid, like the games you'd get on your phone.
Like,
Like,
I know, I didn't. That's it.
yeah, we're off the rails already. Come
Plants
on.
vs Zombies.
we
fun.
are. We are.
Like Plants vs Zombies, Balloon Tower Defense,
I actually
Minion
never
Run,
played.
which was like Temple Run.
I never gamed on my phone, to be honest. I always gaming on my PC.
Do you want me
You got
to?
that
Do you want me to
started.
bring up a game? I'm surprised we haven't brought up already.
Geometry Dash.
What?
Undertale.
Never heard of it.
True. You haven't heard of it.
Googling it.
I
I know the song. That's about it.
I think we found a new thing. Someone who does not know Undertale in this day and age.
I know the song, but that's it. He's off the
Okay,
rails. Too much coke.
Too much.
Speaking of coke,
Look at my eye. You can tell I am not high. Do not listen to Mez.
I meant Coca-Cola, obviously.
We are off the rails. We are off the rails.
What monster air is that? Is that apple?
Paradise. Kiwi and cucumber.
Just letting y'all know, Mez is a big connoisseur of Monster.
Hold on.
He's quite
One.
addicted to it.
Cheap 50p energy drinks.
Two.
Oh no! Oh shit!
3, 4, 5, 6,
Got a little collection, haven't you?
7, 8, 9.
Okay, then. Are any of them monsters though? Are
No,
any of
here's
them
the thing.
monsters?
For like 50p from his little co-op. Little corner shop.
They're 2 for £1, and then there's a big Red Bull. There's a smaller Red Bull in here as well. But
Go to hell. There is a special place in hell for you next to delivery drivers who drop kick your fucking package out of a plane.
okay.
Mez has a
Liking
huge
Red
hatred for Red Bull, by the way. A
This is not
huge.
nice. It's
Meanwhile,
just not nice.
I like Red Bull a lot, and I also like Monster a lot. I just feel like Red Bull more often.
The two opposites.
You're
realistically.
literally having foreplay with the devil right there, liking both brands.
Yeah, I
Not
also
how
I
it
li-
works.
I also
wish I could have foreplay with the
I
devil.
also listen to all music and don't discriminate on music. I also am but bisexual and enjoy relations in many sense of the word.
Are you putting yourself an ad to get a girlfriend or like that's what's happening right now?
I wouldn't complain, but my point is I've quite literally sinned in almost every variety except from the ones that I would actually call sins, you know, like murder and paedophilia and stuff. And
Could be worse. You could have been Saddam Hussein who had sex with Satan.
okay, so you watch South Park, we get it.
Yes, yes. Thank you. I'm disappointed with South Park. Yes, I know it's hard to make episodes with people being cunts in this fucking year, crying about everything, cancelling everything, but still, they've only made 2 episodes for this season. Yes, they are hour-long episodes, but still, where's the old South Park? Where's the like daily episodes? Where's this gone? I'm not happy. Honestly, Twitter needs to be cancelled.
I just don't use Twitter, and I've never made an account.
Anyone born after 2006 needs to be cancelled because they're just degenerates they're like little Karens, but like on the little Karens who have drunk too much Monster, trying to fucking cancel everything.
Casual reminder that I have 3 siblings, one born in 2010, one born in 2016, and one born in 2020.
Any of them a girl?
What?
Any of them a girl?
2 of
Oh
them.
my god, Mez.
Did you just
Do
ask?
they? What do you mean? Did I just ask?
Go on.
No, not like that. You fucking creep show.
Well,
What
it's-
about are they like girls this day and age who like want to cancel everything? If,
Well,
like,
one's
everything
4 and
offensive?
one's 1, so no.
So perfect then. Hopefully you will bring them up pleasantly.
Yeah, me, the older brother. I'm sure that
Yeah, set a good
responsibility is solely
example.
my own. And then my brother's 11. Yeah.
Yeah. God, this a bit weird.
Mez looks like he's just like hotboxing his room now at this point.
You're not wrong. My room is. I'm 6'2". My room is 1 me
Casual flags.
by 2
One
me.
me. One
It
me.
is. It's 1 me wide by 2 me's long, so it's easy to hotbox.
1 meal light.
Fucking one.
It is.
Imagine
I've made it before,
measuring
I measured it.
in yourself.
In that case, my room
With the pong out and
is...
everything.
In that case, my room is about 2 me's long and like 1.5 me wide.
Your room's definitely bigger than mine.
Actually, no, maybe like 2.
I can sit here right now.
2.5.
I'm touching both walls. I'm currently touching both walls.
I'm not touching
You don't-
any,
Exactly.
and I'm not even in the middle of my room.
Eat shit. Through a straw.
No,
Through a straw.
I
You
imagine
can't
that would
really
be
eat
rather
through
disgusting.
a straw.
you can.
Yeah, just go.
You can drink through a straw.
No, you slap it into your mouth and then just.
I guess so. That sounds disgusting. Jesus Christ. Mez, what the fuck?
There's definitely some shit like that on porn though.
Maybe
So
not on
indie
Pornhub,
games, am I
but-
right?
Yes, please.
Well, have you noticed like whenever one indie game blows up, there's like 20 billion that suddenly are
That, like
exactly
try
the
to
same.
follow.
I think the best example would be Five Nights at Freddy's actually, because that was an indie game, and then like right after that, suddenly there was like loads of different Five Nights at Freddy's kind of style games.
This is for you, SJ. On your phone when you were younger, did you have a game where you had like a little poo and you had to like feed it every day?
Yeah, it's
and,
called
like, take it
Poo.
for, like, yeah. Just on the topic of poo, yeah, that was a fun game, wasn't it?
How did he take this conversation back there? Right, we segued, and then he segued back. Like he made
Yeah.
an active decision to U-turn the fucking vehicle and go back.
Mez does that though.
Segway drives
He's,
itself.
he's done that like 2 or 3 times already. This one episode.
He's definitely an
Just
interesting man.
U-turn back. He is, yeah.
No poo
Crypt
fetish.
of Necrodancer is like one of the most unique ones for me. Like indie games. It's
What?
very
What? A necro?
beat
What?
heavy.
What?
Crypt of Necrodancer. It's like a rhythm game. It's a rhythm
A rhythm
dungeon
game.
crawler.
There's a game called There's Poo in My Soup.
Rhythm dungeon crawler. It's really, really cool.
I'm intrigued in this game.
Off
Really
topic.
Wait, what?
I packed a lunch, jumped into my Toyota Mezeril, drove to the nearest hiking trail, and started hiking up the mountain just to discover there was poo in my soup. Is the opening line for that game.
Huh.
And the guy looks scarily like the Pringles guy.
Who is
From what
quite
you know.
creatively named Mr. Pringle.
Mr. Pringle. I love it.
They've changed him now though. He looks ugly as fuck now. Old.
They've made it
new.
more simple.
Yeah. Same with the Doritos logo as well.
Yeah, they did it with loads of
It's-
things. They
it's
did it with
horrible.
Firefox, and now Firefox is
Brexit.
basically not a Firefox anymore.
Oh
Brexit.
my god, the devolution of Firefox.
It literally
Oh
went from
God.
like high resolution, sort of like sharp, contrasted,
Like a
saturated
box,
image.
No,
like,
they
on
devolved
fire
it.
around
It's
the
literally-
planet to just a blue
It's-
and orange thing.
Yeah, like it's such a big devolution, man. It's actually insane. What the
I used
fuck
to use
did you send?
Firefox back in the day. That's the new Doritos logo.
Oh my
just a
god, it's
triangle.
horrible. It's like a play button.
It is. What a browser do you use now? I use Opera. I used to use Chrome, and then before that, Firefox.
I use Chrome. It's mostly because I have Gmail accounts for everything. So
So you're letting the government spy on you, okay?
there's nothing interesting about me to spy on. What are they going to say? Oh,
I
he's got. He just
I
got.
don't know. You got quite a nice sexual life on this server.
He's
haven't
got. He got cast in this acting thing. Ooh, what are we gonna do? There's literally nothing edgy about my Gmail accounts at all. I'm
you? You're
not afraid
FBI
of.
agent right now, and I took that personally.
What?
I said you're FBI agent right now, and I took that personally.
Go on, investigate all you want, my guy. You ain't finding shit on me. other than maybe that I'm a bit kinky. That's about it. So, can we not go further down this rabbit hole?
I have no idea.
Even the Chrome logo's ugly now. What the fuck?
Yeah, honestly, they
Chrome's
also
fine.
changed Gmail from being just like a white and red envelope to being like just ugly, an ugly M. You see, now Gmail are mad at me. I'll tell you that.
It's as close as your accounts.
See, no more. I was gonna say my email out loud then. Oof.
There's a browser called IceCat. How original.
Called what?
IceCat. It's an ice cat hugging a planet. How original.
What is me bloody
It's cute.
computer
it's cute,
just
but
did that? You're just gonna have to change that. I'm gonna have to cut that out. Go back.
I'm now
Icecat.
getting adverts on Opera to download Chrome. What the fuck? I'm telling you, they're listening to us.
Listening.
Well, I'd say we've quite accurately discussed pretty much everything we have rightly to discuss for indie games right now. Should we call it a day, boys?
Well, we can
we
say
can.
that you lot watching can keep your eyes peeled for some gaming streams to soon come to
Eventually.
either YouTube or Twitch. We will update you
Yeah, we'll see what happens with
in the
that.
future.
But also,
We do plan on being a lot more active on social media
yeah,
in the weeks to come.
When SJ makes a Twitter account.
True.
okay. And then
Uh,
also, we want to at some point, where these two pitched me an idea, and I'll ask you guys what you think. Comment what you think of the idea. We want to make a Patreon at some point, and people who become patrons to the account would get access to a 30-minute stream that we would also do weekly alongside these ones. So it would be like Neon Buttons After Hours, where we do what we kind of did a bit today, where we go completely off topic and just do it like a basic podcast about us kind of
just
thing.
like a general like chat, like normally like right after this is recorded, we'll just hop into a PC, maybe play some games and just stream.
It's planned to have a lot like actual fan interaction.
Yeah, so like you guys could like hop in
so you could actually get what you paid for.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, you can interact in the chat. You can ask us questions. We can answer. You can join in the conversations. If one of you like Red Bull, you can shout at me. I'll shout at you back. We will have each other. Here, right?
And if any of you do like Red Bull, you can send me all of it.
Supply SJ, yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much for being a part of today's session, and let me know what you think of that idea, as along with the game stream idea. And what you thought of our discussions on indie games, because I thought it was very interesting, the discussions we had at points during that about indie games, and
then it went derailed like 5 times.
Massively, but it's completely normal, But it
that's
was
just a taste for after hours,
Yeah, pretty much. It was more
Sat in the mood.
Some of the things we discussed in there about like how indie games are necessary, like how they go in a different direction, how AAA keep moving forward, they move off in these directions. I thought that was an interesting thing for us to talk about. So thank you very much for being a part of today's session, and we will see you next week. Enjoy.
Good afternoon, good
evening,
good night.